What's good, YouTube? It's Nas and we back with another video. Road to 600 subscribers, of course. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about Jalen Johnson and the Atlanta Hawks. And when you're really looking at it, and if you haven't been paying attention, Jalen Johnson has really became one of the best players in the league. And he's really been carrying the Atlanta Hawks alongside with a roster which you wouldn't expect to do this without Trae Young, which they started out the season slow, as we all know. I thought maybe they were going to be below expectations because with their roster additions, they were expected to be a top team in the East, and then with Trae Young playing the way he played and the Hawks losing like 3 straight games, and then obviously him going out with injury, you would expect that the Atlanta Hawks to go on a losing streak, and that just hasn't happened. With Jalen Johnson coming back from injury last season and looking even better than he was last season, which I thought he was an all-star last season, but when you're really looking at it, Jalen Johnson has become one of the players that can obviously put pressure on the rim. He's become a rebounding, a double-double machine going alongside his playmaking, because without Trae Young, you're going to need somebody to play make the ball, and I just don't think Nickeil Alexander-Walker is a point guard. I think he is a combo guard. He could go out there and score the ball, but to play make for others, I just don't think that's his role. And Jalen Johnson has stepped up in that role dramatically, because I think when we look at it, when you have the defense focused on you so much, like obviously they're going to try to stop you from scoring the ball, but at the same time they're going to have to stop you from making all aspects of your game better. And Jalen Johnson, even though the scouting report is clearly all him, he's still finding a way to make his teammates better, play make for them, and honestly go out there and go get himself his own bucket. And Jalen Johnson this season right now is averaging 22.5 points per game, 9.5 rebounds, and 7 assists. 7 fucking assists. I know that probably doesn't seem too major for y'all, but when you watch Jalen Johnson, you just notice like he sees like his teammates getting open. Like, even though you can obviously say there's a lot of selfish players in the league right now, if they see somebody open, they're gonna go get a basket. But Jalen Johnson isn't one of those players. He lets the game flow to him, and I feel like in a basketball player, that's what I love about obviously team basketball, because you could obviously go one-on-one, but when you get your teammates involved and you find a way to win games without obviously your quote-unquote best player, and right now I do think Jalen Johnson is the best player on the Atlanta Hawks, even with Trae Young out there, and that's saying a lot, because Trae Young is a multi-time all-star, a player that dragged the Hawks to the conference finals one year. So I don't know, but Jalen Johnson last game, he had 28, 8, and 11. The game before, 18, 11, and 9. The game prior against the San Antonio Spurs, he had 26, 12, and 7. Against the Detroit Pistons, he had 25, 8, and 9. Against the Phoenix Suns, he had 25, 10, and 7. Against the Utah Jazz, he had 31, 18, and 14. That triple-double is what put me on notice. I'm like, okay, maybe I got to make a video soon. And it took me 5 games, and I might be 5 games too late. But Jalen Johnson is probably a top 4 power forward in the league right now, and that's not crazy to say at all. But when you're looking at this Atlanta Hawks roster and you're just seeing like, how are they 11-7? Because national media, I feel like, is not really covering the Atlanta Hawks right now. I'm pretty sure if you're a casual fan, you're wondering, if Trae Young is out, how are they winning these games with these tough teams, like these playoff contending teams, these teams that's supposed to blow them out the water? How is this happening? And when you look at this roster, and you have Nickeil Alexander-Walker, you have Dyson Daniels, you have Mohamed Gay, you got Caleb Houston, you got Jalen Johnson, you got Luke Kennard, you got Krejci, you got Asa Newell, you got Onyeka Okongwu, you got Kristaps Porzingis, you got Zachary Richardson, you got Jacob Toppin, you got Keaton Wallace, you got Trae Young. And when you look at it, this depth isn't really, or on paper, this depth doesn't really talk to you that much, but really, it's been everybody stepping up in all departments. Like, I'm pretty sure their defense has been on top. Their offense has been on top, with obviously one of the best playmakers in the league in Trae Young. So that's saying a lot. And how the Atlanta Hawks had these expectations coming into the season with Trae Young, and without Trae Young, they have completely shattered these expectations, been way better than expected. And that's just saying a lot. And really, they've become one of the scariest teams right now. I don't want to use scariest team. I don't want to use scary too lightly. I don't like to use that, because a lot of people could be scarier than they were. Because a couple weeks ago, I made a video about the Bulls, and it looks like the Bulls are back to their old patterns. when the season first started, I made a video about the Warriors and Jonathan Kuminga, and that just really hasn't looked good. It looked like their relationship is torn again, so I don't know what's going on there. But when you look at the Atlanta Hawks, I feel like that makes Trae Young expandable, because what if you want to go out there and go get more role players? What if you want to get more assets in the draft department and just build around Jalen Johnson, who's really looked like one of the best players in the world? I wouldn't be mad at it. I'm pretty sure Hawks fans wouldn't be mad at it either, because when I'm on Twitter, I see niggas calling him the dictator, which is a funny ass nickname. I'm not gonna lie to you, but when you're looking at this Atlanta Hawks team, you're looking at how much better Jalen Johnson can really become, and you're really looking at how he was on the bench for his first couple seasons for John Collins, and it's crazy because he's levels above John Collins now, and he was the backup when he first came there. But even last season, he was averaging 19, 10, and 5. So obviously, the last 3 seasons, Jalen Johnson has been improving every single season, every aspect of his game. But last season, I feel like him going out with injury, it was probably the best, because now we get to see, or how do I say this? Like, I think probably Trae Young going out with his injury this season, probably we get to see the best version of Jalen Johnson when he's a number 1 option, and we're seeing that right now, and we're seeing what the Atlanta Hawks are accomplishing right now, which I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's amazing, and when you really look at it, you can't shit on them, or you can't talk shit about this Atlanta Hawks team, because they fight every night without Trae Young foul baiting. Yes, I'm one of those niggas that hate foul baiters, but when you look at Trae Young not being out there with his playmaking, without his gravity, I feel like, and them still finding ways to win games, and they're using Jalen Johnson's gravity now to make the teammates better. It just makes the Atlanta Hawks even more scarier, even when you're having a Yucca Kongu having big games. You have Porzingis obviously giving you your 18 and 10 every night. You guys, the future of Zachary Ricochet, I don't know what he could become, but he was the number 1 pick, so who knows? You got Dyson Daniels, one of the best defenders. You got Nickeil Alexander-Walker, an elite role player. So when you're looking at this Atlanta Hawks team, they could cause trouble in the Eastern Conference with or without Trae Young, and that's probably the point of this video right now. I want to know, how do y'all feel about Jalen Johnson? How do y'all feel about this Atlanta Hawks without Trae Young? And do y'all think Trae Young will probably mess this shit up, or do y'all think he would make this Atlanta Hawks team even better? Because we saw at the beginning of the season how bad they looked on offense and defense. Not offense, but on defense. So let me know how y'all feel about the Atlanta Hawks down below. Subscribe. What's good, y'all? If y'all made it to the end of the video, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And there's a video right here. I'm pretty sure you're gonna like it if you like this one. And the channel icon's right there if you want to just check out the channel in general. And yeah, leave a like too, because it really helps the algorithm push me out. And yeah, I appreciate y'all for watching this video nonetheless.